We'll call the meeting of the Cottage Grove Park Recreation and Natural Resources Commission to order. The mission of the Cottage Grove Parks Recreation Department is to create and promote policies, programs, and places that enable active living for a more vibrant community. Roll call.
Taken.
Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Has everybody had a chance to look through the minutes from last meeting?
I have.
Can we get a motion to approve?
A motion to approve the minutes.
All second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Open forum.
Looks like none tonight, Chair.
Okay. Presentations.
None tonight, other than welcome to our new chair, Adam Larson. Commissioner Susie has offered Adam this great opportunity to lead our Parks Commission, so thanks for taking on the duties, and look forward to having you lead.
Thank you. All right. Action items. Pickleball program.
Thank you, Chair, members of the commission. I will turn it over to our Recreation Supervisor, Brad Muckenhern, who's going to talk a little bit about our taking over the pickleball program in Cottage Grove.
Alrighty, thank you, commissioners. As Zach said, working with the old pickleball club, we have kind of came together and created a good plan for pickleball operations here in Cottage Grove. If you have yet to hear of pickleball, it is a very fast and growing sport, not only throughout the state, but is definitely taking the country by storm as well over the last number of years. So with that being said, we've put together a pretty nice plan for 2024 and beyond to kind of solidify pickleball as an adult offering, for now at least, in our community. So currently in Cottage Grove, we have a number of playing opportunities. We have 4 locations throughout our community at Granada Park, Cedarhurst Meadows, Sunny Hill, and of course now Glacial Valley Park. We have what I'll call 2 full-time locations with nets and approximately 9 courts. And I do expect that these full-time locations at Granada and Glacial Valley will be used heavily and extensively through our club and open play, as well as leagues and future tournaments. Just some quick little stats here. It is the fastest growing sport 3 years in a row. Outpaces any youth sport, baseball, football, basketball, lacrosse, hockey. It is absolutely growing and very, very fast. Age 55 and up is the largest age bracket, and that is currently kind of an untapped market that our recreation department is looking to expand into. So this is a really good move for us and a good opportunity for citizens of our community. So kind of just some back history on the club and what it's entailed. As far as I know, here in Cottage Grove, there was a pickleball club basically housed at Granada Park that was organized through a group of volunteers. A 5-member advisory board kind of oversaw the promotion and verbal word of mouth to help grow the sport here in Cottage Grove. And it has quickly grown, kind of a little over their capacity to manage registrations and payments and things like that. So that volunteer organization is a liaison to the overall members that participate in that. And you know, they implement the recommendations and changes that the participants would like to see, whether that be different types of balls, maybe different maintenance equipment, upgrades to nets, fencing, surfacing of the courts, things like that. They're really the eyes and ears on the ground to, you know, bring it back to Zach or Jim for any maintenance needs that we might have. As I mentioned, it's been continually growing over the years. When I first started here, I think they were at about 100 members. Then 3 years ago, 125. When Glacial Valley started getting on our radar, I met with the current one of the members on the advisory board. I think they're at about 130, and they really wanted to kind of hand over operations in partnership to help bring it to the next level. And so, like I mentioned, they've kind of outgrown their ability to effectively manage all the registrations, changes, promotions, things like that. And so handing it over to us where we have, the resources to utilize all that stuff, I think is a good move for everybody. So as we look current and beyond, the Glacial Valley expansion has really opened up doors of communication with the pickleball club and Parks and Recreation, so we can manage those operations. Again, it's going to be all the registration, promotions, the organization of the leagues, clubs, tournaments, and of course, the execution of all that as well. As I mentioned before, met with a number of the members of the advisory board when we've been having intermittent meetings throughout the last couple weeks with kind of ideas on how we can best do this for our community. Researching neighborhood communities such as Woodbury, Inver Grove, Mendota Heights, and others. I think we've come up with a pretty good, solid first-year game plan. Just for reference, Woodbury is rapidly expanding their programs. They have over 600 members in their club. They are busting at the seams. And so it was really important when we were going to roll this out that we were taking care of our community first. We didn't want Woodbury to, how do I want to word this? We didn't want Woodbury to take away from our members of our community first. So I'll get into that here in a second. As you can see, just a simple little flyer on the left, kind of just helping promote what the Pickleball Club is. Great for active adults, youth, beginners, but a majority have been those older active adults. So we will be offering league play. This is a new opportunity here. We'll be putting out men's, women's, and co-ed or mixed leagues. And if you guys are familiar with ratings at all, 3.5 and below is kind of like that beginner to intermediate rec level play. 4.0 and above is going to be much higher competitive. I take pickleball pretty seriously, kind of rankings. So this league play will be on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday nights. And it's weekly, one night a week if you're men's, women's, or co-ed. And it's going to be competitive. We're going to be tracking the standings, the points, win-losses, and users will get 2 games per night or 6 sets. And then on week 6, we're going to run a single elimination tournament and crown our session 1 pickleball champions. So really excited for that. In total, if we do fill our pickleball leagues, we'll be looking at a total of 72 teams. And I'm doing it a little differently where I'm going to allow up to 4 players per team just to help with any scheduling conflicts, things that come up, family vacations throughout the summer, things like that. So people have been pretty receptive to that. As far as tournaments or rentals, we are holding off on offering multiple tournaments in 2024. We are planning on offering 1 tournament this fall. I'm going to focus more on a fun, community-focused tournament. Might be a grandma and a grandchild, or a grandpa and a grandson. Might be a 35-year age difference. But we want to get grilling going on out there, sell hot dogs, get music playing, and really just create a fun atmosphere over your typical, very competitive out-of-towners coming in to take, the championship. We want to create that community event. And as far as rentals, I've had a number of outside organizations reach out either to offer private lessons, host tournaments already, and we're kind of just slowing down on that. We want to see how our facility is utilized before we start to overschedule it. We want to, create an opportunity for the public to get in there. So as I mentioned, no private parties in 2024. We're going to just focus on us, focus on our community. As we look at the schedule here, it's just a breakdown of Glacial Valley and Granada as far as the pickleball club and open play is concerned. Again, if you're registered for the club, that gives you priority access of court use and times, and that's a pretty important thing for members of the sport. They have their certain times that they like to play, typically early in the morning or late in the evenings. So as a recreation-sponsored program, that is us out there running our program. I do have a large number of open play hours. So how it's gone is Monday morning pickleball club at Glacial Valley is open play at Granada. And then open play at Glacial Valley in the afternoon is pickleball club at Granada. And I kind of just flip-flopped it back and forth to just try to create as much equality in playing time as possible. And you can see there Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we'll break into the men's leagues later in the summer, which will take away from the pickleball club later into the season, and then trying to keep as much open play on the weekends as possible for general members of the public and community to utilize. It's kind of a lot to process there, but if you guys do want to look deeper into it, just let me know. So getting back to that advisory board, it is a 5-member volunteer team that's going to help shape the future of pickleball here in our community. Again, they're going to be recommending changes to the structures of leagues, open play, club times, and again, it's based upon the overall view of the club members. If we're finding that there's a lot of non-members that are trying to get in during those times, maybe we need to adjust court use a little bit, and that's going to be coming from that advisory board that are kind of the eyes and ears of the sport for us. So they've been a major resource for us as far as recommendations on signage, what should be placed around the court, where they should be placed, things like that. Purchasing of shade structures, wind nets, types of balls, paddle holders. They've been a great resource for us. So I'm very thankful for them, and they're going to just continue to hopefully grow that with us. Again, the growth, March 1st, we opened to residents for club and league play. And on March 8th, we opened to non-residents. So we gave our residents 1 week to get their registrations in. And as of this morning, we were full at 200 members with 10 on our wait list. So I think that's a great start. Our leagues were a little low, but I got till July to get the word out and hopefully get some more promotion going on. We're sitting at 14 teams, so I feel really good about that. Our co-ed beginner rec level has the most registration, so I do like that. But again, we're going to be monitoring how registration numbers will affect our overall court usage and programming. And if I need to make changes to the schedule to allow for more open play, that's certainly something that I'm going to be keeping an eye on. So with that, I can stand for any questions or recommendations that you guys may have.
Mr. Chair, I would like to just add 3 things. One, clarification. He said it, but I just want to make sure it's clear. This wasn't a hostile takeover. The club actually asked us to help them take over the program. 2, you probably didn't see it on the schedule, but we always try to keep at least a few courts open in the community to the general public play. So there's a lot on that schedule, but if you went through it, you would see that there's always at least 3 courts open for public play in the community. And then 4th, the action request is just to support the pickleball program as presented by the Recreation Department. So just want to clarify those. Thank you.
Okay, questions for Brad?
I have a question.
Commissioner Olson?
Brad, thank you. It's a good presentation. Seems like something we ought to do. I would be curious on financial needs, and is the club doing fundraising as well? And also then, can you compare this to how our relationship is with other athletic associations? Is it similar? If different, how is it different? Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Olson. So this is a recreation program, the club is. So users pay a fee to get in and utilize the times at the court. So it's like a structured program that we operate similar to an adult softball league, if you will. So we'll utilize those funds to help offset any maintenance needs that might come up. And as far as the athletic associations, I don't think it has any relation to that at all. Again, it's a city-run sponsored program, so. Does that answer your question?
Okay, if I could follow up, is it more similar to our relationship with the group at the disc golf course then?
I think the disc golf course has really taken a volunteer stance of helping bring their own changes. And you might correct me if I'm wrong, Zach, as far as the design of the course and such. But I could certainly see, the recommendations of the advisory board certainly shaping how our program looks. Absolutely.
Commissioner Olson, if I may, there's some similarities with the Athletic Association. So the Athletic Association helps us run the youth programs in the community. However, they take all the registrations, they handle all the money, they make all the decisions on how programs are actually run. We just allow them to, we help them manage how the facilities are used and help market their programs. This, on the other hand, we're doing all the registration, we're doing all the programming, we're doing all the management, and a lot of the fees are going to offset our staff time to do that. And then we're also scheduling everything as well. So there is a little bit of similarity in that this club will help advise us on how to use the facilities, how to manage the program, but we just have a lot more control over this particular program. Hopefully that helps.
Are there any concerns about parking? I remember when we were doing a playground survey around Granada that there were some feedback from residents nearby about noise and parking. And I notice in your schedule that open play is in the earlier and later hours at Granada. But will Glacial Valley have enough parking to kind of meet the needs of all of the pickleballers?
I would certainly hope so. I think it's going to be a very busy park in general. You got the new playground there. We're going to be offering facility reservations. And then, of course, the pickleball club. I think it'll be tough to say exactly how many people show up. So 200 people in the pickleball club does not necessarily mean 200 people at a single time are playing. Currently, from the information that I received from the club, the advisory board, they would tell me at any given time, maybe there's 30 to 40 people playing. So I think there's going to be a little bit of room, but it's certainly something that we're going to have to take into account and be watching.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely.
Anyone else? I had a question. So we see Glacial Valley and Granada Park are programmed. The other ones are open courts all the time for people?
So the other courts don't have nets. It is a bring your own net type of thing. And yeah, we're just focusing primarily as Glacial Valley is the premier park, and Granada is kind of the backup, if you will. I think both are still going to be heavily utilized. There are the supporters of Granada that I've heard from that they love Granada. They like the small feel. And then I do have the members that they want Glacial Valley and they want it open now. So
Okay. So
Yeah.
if we were to put nets at Cedarhurst or Sunny Hill, would that be something that we would want to sponsor or that the Parks Department would want to move forward with, or?
Mr. Chair, those are multi-use courts, so they're also basketball courts, four-square courts, and that's why they're programmed like that. So they're good alternative if all the courts should happen to be full, but I don't think they get a lot of pickleball use at the moment. But if you put the nets up, then obviously it would no longer be multi-use.
Okay.
And I would also mention too, talking about Glacial Valley, remember that those are lit courts too. So that provides us a little more flexibility with the seasons and time of use.
Nice. Anyone else? We're looking for a motion to support the pickleball program.
A motion to support the pickleball program.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, we support the program.
thank you guys.
Thanks, Brad. All right, up next, presentation of information.
None tonight?
Okay, do we read these individually, the action updates, or does it just say action updates?
Just, yeah, I'll go through them all
right.
at once, yeah. Thank you, Chair, members of the commission, for action updates. Just want to discuss a handful of items that have been before you that are probably topics of interest. Last meeting, we talked about the Mississippi Dunes, the commission had authorized a name for Mississippi Dunes Park. That did go to council at the last meeting, and actually not the last meeting, the meeting prior, and that was approved. So that is official. Mississippi Dunes building, at the last meeting, I did mention that we were going to work on a conceptual design for the building so we could get that on the graphics for the local option sales tax initiative. That process has started. We started with a 2 or 3 hour meeting talking about what the park is, the history of the area, culturally, landforms, all those things, archaeological, all those things that come into play when thinking about how to best design that building. So that was a great kickoff meeting. And because it is kind of a streamlined process, we want to make sure we can get that information into our marketing materials for the local option, not marketing, educational materials for the local option sales tax. The commission will be kind of the public engagement side of it, so you will see a rendering of that before that gets approved. So you should see that hopefully at your meeting in May, and then I think we'll have hopefully final approval of the concept design sometime in May or early June. Community garden, we did get the statewide health initiative program grant. So for $23,000, Washington County helped facilitate that. So that is official in terms of the grant agreement was sent to us. The council will be reviewing that next week. Assuming that's approved, we'll start working on getting the water source hooked up, start getting, if weather allows, we'll start running water. Then we have to till up the land, probably get some good soil additive mixed in there, which the gardening club's all ready to help out with, and then help them get their fencing up. So that's moving forward, assuming council approves next week. Bike Park Project, they are out, I'm awaiting meeting with the leader of that volunteer organization, but they are moving forward, and I know they're out trying to raise funds for the remainder of the funding necessary for that project, so they're out trying to get sponsorships and other things in order, and then we'll kind of talk about logistics when he and I meet next. But that's moving forward. The Cottage Grove Trailway Corridor Grant, we did get don't quote me on the number, but I believe it's a $150,000 grant for the restoration of the Cottage Grove Trailway Corridor from Imperial Avenue west to Hinton Avenue. That's the area under the power lines there. So that's our last section in the middle to make that whole habitat restoration through the Cottage Grove Trailway Corridor. So that's a great project. I'm looking forward to getting that going. We are, because the last time we talked about it with the residents was at this Parks Commission meeting, we did a public, we sent a letter and asked them to come and publicly testify if they had any concerns. We had a couple of people that we met with that had some stuff out on the property that we've been working with. So I'm gonna send another letter out to them probably this week or next week and just remind them, okay, we got the grant now, because that was probably close to 2 years ago. I'll remind them that we're gonna be going through removing trees, invasive and dead and dying trees, really killing off a lot of the majority of the vegetation, and then starting over and getting that prairie, wetland, and woodland habitat reestablished. There are quite a few trees that'll be saved, but there's quite a few trees that have to go as well. And then lastly, I guess with those items, and I'm gonna turn over Jim for Strawberry Fest, was there any question on those first 5 items?
With the removal of trees, are we in that, there's a range where you can't, like, after the end of March, we can't cut down trees to save the wild-eared bats?
Yeah.
That covers us too?
So luckily on this project, we have an ecologist on it, so yes, we're aware of it. I still don't fully understand how that law all works, because there are opportunities to do that, but I know so we're very well aware of it, so.
Okay. So it might be cutting a lot and then just cutting a lot later.
Quite possibly, yeah. Yep. So with that, I will turn it over to Superintendent Foreman, who can talk a little bit about Strawberry Fest.
Thank you, Commissioners. The Strawberry Fest will be from June 30th through June 23rd up at Kingston again. There'll be a softball tournament that Brad will be running out at Lamar as part of that tournament, which he's done for the last couple of years out there. Thursday night will be family night once again, so it's more bring the kids up, have some activities in that. I know they're trying to get the athletic associations involved like they were last year to do some little things up there. Friday and Saturday nights, we'll have the concert again. Saturday, there's the parade that'll go up Jamaica to the middle school on Indian there, starting at 10. I know they're still looking for young men and women that want to be part of the ambassador program in that for the 24-25 season. I know they have some applicants, but they're still looking for some more older ones. They go up to the age of 21, so I know they're still looking for some ambassadors for that.
I don't think we
Can I interject
qualify.
that with the ambassadors that we're looking for, they do give out scholarships for the older ones too, so that's something great to note, because it is a good opportunity for some of our teenagers.
Okay, any questions on the information? All right, we can move on to donation acknowledgements.
Thank you, Chair, members of the commission. We did have 2 memorial benches donated for Highlands Park. Those should be coming in soon, and the slabs are already out there, so those will go up on the west side of Idson on the trail there. So both memorial benches, and then there was also a memorial bench that was put in late fall over at Kingston Park too. So that's up along between the soccer fields and the softball fields there. So getting good traction on the memorial benches. We do have a new style memorial bench and a new plaque. So it seems like people are They cost more, but that doesn't seem to be an issue because they look, I think they look a little bit nicer, so people are happy with that. So that's been good, and that program seems to be gaining some traction. And then the AED units, I can't remember if we had talked about this before. I know we talked about the program, but officially, the units are the Save Station units with the AEDs. Those are the units that can be accessed 365 days a year, 24 hours a day. There's one at Kingston. There is one going into Oakwood. We haven't received that one yet. There's two at Hamlet, one in the north building, one in the south building. There's one at Highlands. And then there's the original one at Woodridge. Those were all donated by the Teddy's Heart Foundation. We actually did have another donation from the Snowmobile Club, the local Snowmobile Club, over at Lamar Park, because that's kind of their headquarters for where they launch out for the snowmobile trail. So we have that one's up and active. And then the CG Middle School will have 2 units, just AED units going into the coaches and equipment buildings, one at the batting cages for the middle school, and then the other one's at the middle school football field equipment building. So getting AEDs around town quite a bit. And we did have a presentation to council, I don't know, a handful of months ago about being a heart-safe community. So that's been a big part of that. So between the Teddy's Heart Foundation, the Cottage Grove Athletic Association donated 7 of these units. And then the Snowmobile Club, that's a lot of people coming together for a great cause. So happy to get those in, and it sounds like there might be more coming next year, so.
Wow. Any questions? All right, staff reports.
Included some staff reports for review by division, and I also left on the dais up there just some impact measures. So every year, we just try to put together a highlight. This isn't everything, but a highlight of, how trends change over the year and how our parks system is changing, usually growth. But you can kind of see by division how things are changing by year. And we just had another really successful 2023. And you can see the growth in almost every area. So the town's growing, parks are getting used more, and that's all positive. And we have a lot of positive momentum thanks to commissioners and council support and community support. So we hear way more positives than negatives. The negative comments hurt more, of course, but we know people support us and they like their parks and recreation, so we appreciate it. Just wanted to share that information with you. And then lastly, there was an educational article. I thought there was a couple good liability cases that I thought were quite interesting. If you had time to read them, great. But that's just educational information only.
I don't think that was in our packet.
Oh, it wasn't? No. I was on vacation when the packet went out, so. I did see there was a follow-up email with some things that might have got missed, so I apologize if anything wasn't in order.
No, that's okay. Any questions? All right, commission comments. It's gonna be a fast meeting.
You're having an easy first meeting.
I know. Council comments, Councilwoman Garza?
Well, I apologize for my tardiness. We are still on spring break today, and so I think my brain is still on spring break, so I apologize. Our city council meeting last week was a record 15 minutes, so, spring break, it's all about spring break right now, so. But thank you all.
All right. We'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Okay, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? All right, we're adjourned.